You're
Yeah,
anti-migrant, aren't you?
I'm not anti-migrant. I'm not anti-legal migrants. I'm anti-illegal migrants. But yes, UKIP wants to scrap the European Convention on Human Rights and the UN Refugee Conventions, both of which were written in the immediate post-war period. We live in a completely different era now. The world is much more mobile. The world's population is vastly greater than it was, and there's far more international chaos around the world than there was 50 or 60 years ago. It needs to be rewritten. Basic human rights have never been in any doubt in the United Kingdom, the right to life and so many other absolutely essentials. But what is a right to a family life, for example, which is something which is guaranteed by the European Convention on Human Rights? That's something which is such an elastic concept that it's been interpreted and reinterpreted by these Strasbourg judges who come from exotic places like Azerbaijan, Armenia, San Marino, Andorra. These are completely different legal systems. Very often the judges are not practicing lawyers. They're people who are in the government.
But they're also some of the sharpest legal minds who've earned their position in Strasbourg by interpreting the law, passing many, many exams, and being very eminent in their field.
Well, they're
interpreting the legislation and giving rulings. The fact is that there's an awful lot of people on the move at the moment. How do you determine better than a judge who should be on the move seeking asylum and who shouldn't? Who's coming to create a better life for themselves and potentially their family, and who isn't? Who are you to make the rules and not judges?
It's our country. They want to come here. They come here on our terms, not theirs. And if they don't like it, they can go somewhere else. These people are all coming, in the case of the refugees across the Channel, from safe countries. They're coming from France. Maybe some of them are coming
So
from
what
Belgium.
would you do? Would you push?
Let me finish the point.
Okay.
They've come through several safe countries in order to get to the English Channel.
So what would you do? Would you push the boats back? Would you puncture them? What would you do?
No, I wouldn't puncture them, but I would certainly try to push the boats back, which is exactly what the Australian government did when it was under siege from Indonesia.
That's totally inhumane, though, isn't it? That's totally inhumane to do that. That's the problem. It's totally against International Maritime Convention as well, pushing people back. They're flimsy and there's loads of people on them. Look, what are you going to do?
Andrew, you've seen these boats, the so-called boats. They're
Lilos, for God's sake.
Yes, exactly. That's the point. So they're inherently unsafe. What are the French authorities doing?
You just said you'd turn them back.
I just finish my point. What are the French authorities doing, allowing these boats to get out of French waters?
But you just said, Neil, I've got to challenge you. You said you'd push them back.
Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point.
Well, please hurry.
You're the one causing the delay by interrupting all the time.
Go ahead, Neil.
The point is, these boats are setting off inherently unsafe from the shores of France. What are the French authorities doing? We're paying them hundreds of millions of pounds to assist us in this process. They're doing nothing about it. They should be stopping these vessels and making sure that the people are taken off and sent back to
Why
the shore.
aren't they?
Well, because they want to get rid of these people to us, of course. Isn't that the most obvious answer to that question? They don't want these people any more than we do. And they're quite happy to export them to us, especially if we're paying them.
The people who are coming over on boats, who do you think they are and what do they want? And I know we have to be general in our question and answer. Who do you think these people are and what do they want?
Well, 90% of them are young men. And they're economic migrants. They want to make a better life for themselves. Nothing wrong with that. But we can't open our borders to the whole of the world.